So we are looking at problem best time to buy and sell a stock. So you are given an array of prices where price I is the price of a given stock on the ith day. Okay, you want to maximize the profit by choosing a single day to buy the stock and choosing a different day in the future to sell that stock. Return the max profit you can achieve from this transaction. Let's look at this example. So we have 7, 1, 5, 3, 6, and 4. Okay, so we look at the first day. We see we have 7. There is no day in the future that would give us profit, so we need to return 0. The second day is 1, so the max profit here is 5 because we would buy here and sell on this day. This is the next day, 5. Profit here is 1. Profit 1, less than the previous profit that we have. We had 5. And here also the profit is, max profit is 3, and here the max profit is 1. So we are left with 5. 5 is the max profit. So let's begin to think how would we solve this. Basically, we look at the first. Let's do what a regular human being would do. A regular human. So we look at the first number. We see 7. Next, we need to find a number which is larger than it. So we go to all these. No number is larger than it. Max profit. No positive max profit. So we now continue to the next day. So we see we have first a loop. Okay, we are looping the numbers, and as we loop the numbers, we move on to check what is the max profit. So we start with this loop, and then we continue with this loop, then we continue with this loop, and each time we check the max profit. The only issue here is that we see we waste a lot of time, because each time we do the loop. However, I tend to think of this question as the so far question. This is the type of the questions, so far, because we need to find the max profit so far, and then again we need to find the max profit so far, and then again we need to find the max profit so far, and then again the max. Okay, so this implies the pattern of the so far question. So which so far could we track? We could track the mean number so far. Is this the mean here? Yes, 7 is the mean. Now 1 is the mean, 1 is the mean, 1 is the mean, 1 is the mean, 1 is the mean. So we see at each point we would know what is the current mean. What other thing could we track? We could track the profit. So what is the profit here? 0. The profit here is still 0. The max profit. The max profit here is already 4. The max profit here is still 4. Sorry, the max profit here was no. The max profit here was 0. The max profit here was 1 and 5. The max profit here would still be 5, 5, 5, 5. So we see that already here we had a solution. Which added info did we have at this point? We needed to check what is the max profit. So now you say, but in order to know what is the max profit here, I need to scan all these numbers. How can I get away with scanning all these numbers? So let's look at this. How can we get away with scanning all the next number? So this is our target. Our target is not to have these repeating loops in order to optimize our time. So I would say in all these so far pattern problems, we look until the current index. So here I look at the minimal number. The minimal number is here, and the max profit. Okay, so far mean, and so far max profit. So far max profit 0. We didn't look at the future, only we looked here. So far Here, what is the minimum number? It's 1. So far, what is the maximum profit? 0. So far, we don't look at the future, we do a single iteration, the so far pattern. So far, what is the minimum number? 1. So far, what is the max profit? 4. We don't look at the future, we have a single loop. So far, what is the minimum number? 1. So far, what is the maximal profit? 4. We didn't look at the future. Single loop, single iteration of each item. The so far pattern. So far, what is the minimal number? 1 so far. What is the maximal profit? 5. So far pattern. Loop each time only once. Don't repeat the loop. The so far pattern for min and max profit. So far, what is the minimal number? 1. So far, what is the max profit? 5. So 5 is the max profit. So let's look how to code this now. Okay, so we are now beginning to code this. This is the so far pattern. If it's the so far pattern, how are we going to name the variable? So far. So let's call them in, we tracked two variables, the min so far and the max profit so far. Min so far is, let's give it a max value. This is another pattern. We give something max value in order to initialize it. Integer.max value. The second item that we tracked is the max profit so far, the so far pattern, 0. So you see, we initialize the variables into the opposite, so that whenever we update them to the correct value instead of comparing. So now we have a single iteration of the loop. So for each price in the prices, oh my god. Okay, so for each price in the prices, let's update the min so far and the max profit so far. What is the min so far? We said that the min so far, which compare the current price that we have to the actual min so far. And because we have chosen the min so far to be the integer max value, then we would immediately update it to the current number. Then if it's less than the min so far, then it's the current price. Otherwise, it's the min so far. Okay. And now the max profit so far in each iteration of the loop is math.max of the current max profit so far. What was the max profit so far in comparison to the current price, because we don't look into the future. The so far pattern is not looking into the future in order to save time in iterations, minus the min so far, the current price minus the minimal price that we had so far. And guys, that's almost it. So let's put a semicolon here and return the max profit so far. Let's look at again what we wrote. We initialized two variables according to the so far programming interview patterns. The so far is going to save us from doing iterations and additional iterations. And we initialize according to the pattern of give it the other extreme value. So we give the min so far, the max value, so that immediately on the first item we would update it to the current minimal so far value. And then we update the max profit so far to 0, again according to the pattern of update the variable to the other extreme. And then we loop, a single loop. What is the min so far? The min so far is the current price if it's smaller than the min so far. What is the max profit so far? The max profit so far is either the maximal max profit that we had or the current price minus the min so far that we had. Let's run this gently. Okay, looks good. Okay, so that was find the max profit. The hints that we could get into knowing that we need to use the so far pattern is someone is asking us to find the maximal value or the minimal value or the maximal profit, some some combination of the items. And as we progress the list, we could calculate both these values.